I'm comedian Jacob Sirof.
I'm Kevin Camia.
I'm also Jacob Sirof. No, I'm just kidding. It's Brent Weinbach.
Sherry Sirof.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the first question. What the fuck is MF Magazine? Where the fuck can you buy that and who cares? Nowhere in America? Oh god, I'm not doing this.
Hey, get back here. This is the first time they did comedy here at the Outside Lands Festival, and it's been good. You know, sometimes we go on a little earlier, sometimes we go later, and I don't know. I thought yesterday was good.
Yeah, well put, Kevin. I think very articulate. I think actually it's not a comedy stage here, and that's the difference between this and other festivals. It's like a circus fag stage, as you can see, that they're letting comedians kind of have 45 minutes 2 times a day on. No, and I'm not being facetious. There's a lot of circus fags behind me. You can probably pan the camera and see them, and that's kind of the way it's set up. So it's not really our thing. We're guests of the circus fags.
Like, Jacob's really edgy.
I concur.
He's like an edgy comedian. He's like an insult comic. He's actually the next Bobby Slayton.
Ask me about black people.
What's your stance on black people?
Against them. Anti.
What's your stance on Prop 8?
For. Wait, which one's an anti-fag?
You're for Prop 8, but not for black people. Like gay black people can't get married, but all the rest of gay people.
Prop 8 means you're against it.
Being for Prop 8 means you're against it.
I just don't think black people should be able to get married.
Okay, so it's like Don Rickles, right? Bobby Slayton, Jacob Sirof.
In a perfect world, I think that's giving me too much credit. Bobby, thanks for that.
Bobby, let's give a shout out to Bobby Slayton.
I think it actually goes Rickles, Slayton, Triumph, Jacob Sirof.
Okay, you're putting Triumph in the mix. That's cool. What puppet is in your mix?
Lisa Lampanelli. He's the Lisa Lampanelli of comedy.
Yeah, you are the Lisa Lampanelli of comedy.
I'm like the female Lisa Lampanelli.
No, I like saying. I mean, it's funny that you said Lisa Lampanelli of comedy as if she's not in comedy.
I got the joke.
That's funny. I like that. That's good. That's good. I just want to spell that out for because there might be a language barrier for people in England and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. It's been up and down, and I think Reggie Watts, the other comedian who's not here, he and I are on a bill together, and we've had really good shows, but it seems to be kind of random which crowd, if you get an uptight crowd or a hip crowd, and I also find that these things, if you bully it out of them, for me, like that works for me. And Reggie,
if you stay edgy, you mean?
Not edgy necessarily.
They love edgy here.
I'd like to
circus fags love edgy.
Bully him right to the edge of edginess.
I feel like my allergies have been up and down. Sometimes it's really intense, sometimes it's not, and like right now it's doing okay, but on stage it was really good.
It's kind of hard to even concentrate in this interview right now when Jason Mraz is on stage somewhere. So if we can wrap it up.
Yeah, are you a Mraz head?
Oh, the Marazziest. I'm a Maraz brat.
You're the Maraziest Mraz fan.
Dead.
It's dead.
Sherry and I moved about 2 years ago, and it's never recovered.
It's dead to them, at least.
I think I'm the last one left here in the city.
Yeah.
I'll answer a real question. The San Francisco comedy scene is a really great comedy scene. It's very nurturing. It's a great place to start comedy. It's a terrible place to finish comedy. It's like comedy college in the truest sense. It's like if you do about 4 or 5 years here, or 13 in Kevin's case, and then you move to like Los Angeles or something, and it's like that's the real New York or LA are kind of graduating. But of all the kind of A- cities like Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, Minneapolis, I think Austin, Texas. I think San Francisco is the best one and the most. And they just support every kind of comedy. And even if they're not, even if sometimes they're a little judgy, they never are really offended.
Yeah, I mean it's an open-minded crowd. It's great for creativity and trying different things. But I think Seattle's a really good scene too, though. Actually, they're actually the buzzworthy scene right now. Is from what I. Well, no, they're all gone though. So Chicago isn't happening now. Seattle's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, I think San Francisco's like a cast. It breeds a lot of stuff inside, but not all of it's good.
No, San Francisco's cool though. It's fun. There's a nice tradition of comedy here too. Like there's a great history of early '90s comics or comics who were based here in the early '90s, like Patton Oswalt.
When you get out, when you get out on the road and you tell people you're from San Francisco, they're always impressed.
Yeah, it's like the '80s was booming here.
90s,
the 60s were happening. 60s were a good time. What else? The early 20th century?
Yeah, coffee in the KOFY used to have the 50s dance party.
KFC. KFC has fried chicken. You know, it's also known as Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You know that McDonald's has a new Angus burger?
Also, McDonald's has the McGriddles. Have you heard of that?
It's very good. I don't like the McGriddle.
Dude, I went. Yeah, it's a pancake bun.
Well, also, I want to digress before back to the stage being smaller. I wouldn't want to take away from the fact that this is have you been in there? It's a really cool it's like it comes from Europe. It's like from the early 20th century. But like they've shipped it over here from Europe and constructed. It's called like some Spiegel tent, which makes me a little uncomfortable as a Jew. It's a little too Germany, but it's really like neat. If you go in there, it's all stained glass and wood, and the whole thing travels like for 200 years or whatever. It's really, or what would that be? 100 and whatever years, 112 years, close enough to 200. But it's really cool.
I think as time goes by, if they continue to have comedy, I'm sure it'll grow and it'll get bigger. They'll have bigger tents. But I think it's not just the vibe. Isn't just. I mean, comedy kind of is an indie thing too. You know, like I guess not all the bands are indie bands except I don't know what I'm talking about actually.
I'm surprised to hear that I've never done another music festival. I'm surprised to hear that comedy's so big because to me it seems it is a little out of place. I mean, I'm grateful to be here, but it seems people are here. You know, it's a different kind of having fun than going to comedy's generally experienced in the dark at night. You know, with table service. You know.
I know. I just realized the answer. See, I think sometimes people think comedy is like a comedy club thing. You know, they think it's a comedy club and they think comedians are going to be like, hey, everybody, how's it going? I know what you're thinking. You know, Brad. You know,
what do you mean? I don't know.
If Brad Pitt and Whoopi Goldberg had a baby, this is what it looked like.
What with that?
So yeah, Jacob Upps is with it, but I think they think of stand-up comedy a certain way, and there's like a lot of stand-up comedians that want to expose a crowd to stand-up comedy that's not. I think that more and more people are realizing that comedy is not just like as clubby as they might think it is. So that's why maybe it's a good match. Is that there's a whole audience out there of like say music fans and stuff that can see comedy in a sort of way that's more like music or seeing a band where you can follow it and you be into a guy and whatever, just yeah.
Well, that's why a comedian like Brent, if he was super alternative and prides himself on being the most alternative comic out there, that's why he's perfect for something like this. Okay, just wait.
Like gay prides myself on it.
Yeah, but it's perfect for him, and that's why it's so ironic that he's been struggling at the festival.
Okay, let's play Hot Mike. Let's play Hot Potato Mike. Ready? All right, go.
Oh. Peace and love.
Oh, I was going to say that. I thought you were going to say penises. I was going to say penises too. World penis.
My kid's playing with a snake now, so we're doing an interview for a magazine that no one's ever read. Well, our kid is playing with a snake. That's how bad our careers are going. Do you have any